imagine working in that. Deep Water Week continues with episodes of High Arctic Callers starting tonight at 8, 7 Central only on the Weather Channel. Reynolds, no Arctic air to speak of here on the lower 48.
Yeah, if you want to find it.
Welcome back into Pattern. Our next guest is making sustainability fashionable. It is a must for the industry because right now about 20% of the clothes we buy winds up in a landfill.
Now, models will be hitting the runway tonight in Denver, sporting eco-conscious looks just in time for America Recycles Day. Denver Fashion Week show producer Nikki Strickler joins us now with more. Nikki, thanks so much for taking some time out to talk to us. Now, I want to start with this. What makes the fashion at this event particularly sustainable?
Yeah, so our sustainable night is one of
there's
7.
so much waste when you're making something from scratch and all the scraps and how they just, end up going in the garbage. Does sustainable fashion have to be expensive? From what it sounds like, you can just kind of put two different things together and it's considered sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely. So sustainable fashion does not have to be expensive.
I love that.
That is so creative. Okay, so, there's been a lot of talk about the fashion industry and how bad it is for the planet and things like that. So when you were thinking about a sustainable night for your Denver Fashion Week, what made you kind of make this part of it?
I would say in Colorado and Denver,
it's how you wear it, not what you're wearing exactly. So could you see maybe expanding this to an entire week to focus on sustainability?
It is a fan favorite.
Me too. I love that now thrifting is like such a hot thing to do because I'm like a third of the price and I'm saving the planet. Nikki Strickler, thanks so much for talking to us. Denver Fashion Week show producer. I love this trend that we're going in now. Like, remember it used to be, well, you've never been like this probably, but you remember it used to be like, oh, well, I've already had a picture in this outfit, so I can't wear it again.
Definitely not me.
It was me at one time, I will admit, but not anymore. I'm like, it's a great outfit. You're going to see it over and over again.
Yeah, I'm just not a fashionista, so I don't really care, type of a thing. But I'm glad that,
I'm changing stuff.
I like it, Felicia. For more stories like this, check out Pattern on these social media platforms. We are across the board.
We are. In the meantime, we're going to keep an eye on the weather because there is a moisture on both sides of the country that we're dealing with.
That's right. We're getting hit from rain events on each side of the U.S., especially here across the West Coast. Big events coming into the mountains with some high snow.
'Tis the season, right?
Yeah, that it is.
All right.
All right. Well, it isn't easy for everyone to switch to an electric vehicle. You want to, but I have a car. I'm not switching anytime soon, right? Because I want to use that for as long as I can. One reason that people stress out about it is because access to chargers can really stress you out. It might be spotty depending on where you're driving.
Yeah, it takes a lot of extra planning if you're doing road trips and things like that. So one company's solving that problem.
You're home for the latest news in climate change and sustainability. I'm Steph Abrams.
And I'm Felicia Combs in for Jordan Steele. We want to get straight into today's hot topics. Now, this is probably the wildest story about an invasive species you've ever heard. Earlier this year, we told you about how the descendants of Pablo Escobar's pet hippos have gotten out of control. Pattern climate science producer Allie Van Fleet explains why the Colombian government plans, or what the Colombian government plans to do about these hippos.
Does it?
Hippos are they're cute, but if you Google, there's a video of a hippo chasing a boat down a river. I've never been more terrified in my life, and I wasn't even on the boat. I was like, oh, this thing can go. They're really fast.
Yeah, and they can chomp.
Yeah.
Like the strength of their jaws will like break you in half.
I mean, I've played Hungry Hippo before.
Right. There's a whole, what I'm thinking about is like, okay, so when were these first 4 introduced? Because man, they've really been like doing a lot of work. There's
they have been doing a lot of work.
215 of them. Like, do hippos have only one baby at a time?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about the birth cycle.
Now I'm invested.
There's an adult version of Hungry Hippos that you can play with a skateboard and a laundry basket. And someone pushes you in
Tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing that.
Hot topic number 2, a reluctance to making the switch to EV is range anxiety. We hear about it all the time. The idea that you won't be able to find a charger when you need one. Well, now companies are working to make the charger find you.
Ooh, I love it.
Ziggy. As more and more people, get them. I think you could have this like at your office or something if they don't want to install a bunch of those. I don't know which is cheaper.
And you love convenience, right? Like we all love convenience.
You could probably do it on your app with like GPS. You could be like, my car's here, and hit it, and it would do it like while you're.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking would be really funny if like you're seeing that little thing and you think it's a robot, and then it stops and a person gets out and like hooks up your car. Hey, it's me. But no, I do not think the need will shrink because people love convenience.
Yeah.
And we've seen it over and over. Well, our warming temperatures are taking a bite out of our favorite fall crop.
No.
Apples. Researchers have developed new varieties that will make growing in warmer climates as easy as pie, though. Now, the problem right now is
Queen here at the Weather Channel.
Jen, you can ask her about all the apples. She knows about all of it. I wonder, I need her to do a taste test on these apples.
There are thousands of varieties, and she did that for my birthday one year. She tasted the apples and wrote down what all the like flavors were of the apples and gave me this big one with them all labeled. And so I could like see the list and be like, oh, this one has notes of whatever. I mean, it was like wine tasting on an apple.
That is the most thoughtful gift I've ever heard of.
But that's Jen Carfagno for you.
Jen for you.
Yeah.
What I need to know is, can they breed like the Gala or the Gala and like the Honeycrisp? Because,
there's thousands of varieties. I'm sure they can.
I'm going to go on a tasting test. Well, it's a question that we all ask ourselves. Can I recycle this? Pretty much every day. Every day. We're getting answers to all your weird. Welcome back to Pattern. Now, when Hurricane Michael slammed into Mexico Beach, Florida 5 years ago, much of that town was flattened. But one house seemed to shrug off the Category 5 winds. Yeah. And for that, Bonnie Paulson is very grateful.
Yeah, Jordan Steele takes a look at how this home was able to survive and what it can teach us about building resilient homes.
I see what she did there.
I see what she did there, too. But what's interesting is we know all these ways that homes are, you know, sustaining, whether it's wildfires, hurricanes, no matter what it is, yet we're not building like that, it seems like.
You know, sometimes I think when you see the upfront maybe cost, because I'm sure it does cost more to hire an engineering firm to engineer a sturdier house or to bring in these extra materials, but the long run is I think what you have to think about a little bit more.
I agree with you on that. Yeah. All right, let's go to Florida and find out what we're dealing with here because it has been wet.
It really has, and from it is the holiday weekend. Some schools are out starting Friday, so.
Sheesh, they get the whole week off
next week? Whole week. Back in my day.
Right. We got, I feel like Wednesday, Thursday, or maybe just Thursday, Friday.
More importantly, how are we at Thanksgiving already?
It got here quick.
I'm ready for it. It's my favorite meal of the year. Jen, thank you. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Pattern. This church is doing more than a plate.
Oh my gosh, give me all of them.